Welcome back. You might wonder why I'm wearing a coat, because it's absolutely freezing where I am. And I'm here with Grier Colella, who is the general manager of Frost Ice Bar in Faneuil Hall in Boston. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
This is, as you know, this is kind of amazing, because I read about this and I thought it was probably the most interesting thing I've seen in a long time. So thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
How did you come up with this concept of being in, having an ice, whatever?
So one of our partners, Bob Radin, he's a professor for the business program at Boston College. And he took his students to Stockholm, where they have one of the older ice bars, part of Ice Hotel. And they went to the ice bar, and he said, this is a concept I have to bring back to Boston. It's so unique, it's cool. There's nothing like it in the city. And they've done really well across the entire world. So they're just starting to pop up in the United States, so we really hit it well. And he brought it back and brought it to Cindy from Boston Duck Tours, and they kind of started this partnership and team, and the rest was history, and here we are. And
it's a brand new business. How long you been here?
We've been open for 2.5 months.
2.5 months,
yes.
So there's a lot of people that haven't been here yet that I'm sure are going to come.
Yes, we hope so.
It's amazing, and the ice is so beautiful. How do you make this ice?
So it's actually made in London, Ontario, a company called Ice Culture, which has built about 27 ice bars across the world. They freeze one of these blocks, so they're called Kleinbell blocks. Each one weighs about 300 pounds. And they freeze them very slowly from the bottom up to make sure that it's totally see-through and that the water is as pure as possible and clear. Once that happens, then they sort of start to build it piece by piece. These were not made in Ontario, but everything along this wall was, even the table and these banquette seating. So everything is built there, put in a box, and then shipped down in 2 18-wheeler trucks.
And been busy?
We have been very busy, yes.
Is it a franchise that you have to buy?
No.
Oh.
We're a solo entity, but there's other ice bars. They're just not Frost Ice Bar. So we are the sole owners of Frost Ice Bar. There's no other Frost Ice Bar, but there's Ice Hotel in Stockholm, and they have several ice hotels and bars, and then there's -5, and they have others. Hopefully this won't be our only one, but we started in Boston because that's where we're based.
What do people say to you, or the guest experience? What kind of things do you hear when they come out of here?
Everybody first, it's,
other than, I'm freezing my butt
off. I was just
off,
going
right?
to say, everybody's first reaction is, oh, it's cold in there.
Yeah.
But once they get off of the initial cold, a lot of people just talk about how beautiful it is in here. The energy, our bartenders really create a fun atmosphere. You get to drink your drink on the rocks, served out of an ice glass, and there's good music, there's beautiful things to see, so everyone's kind of in awe of really what you can do with ice, even taking something so normal, like a bunch of baseballs, and put it in ice, and it looks really cool. So,
how long do people get to stay in here?
We suggest 45 minutes, but the average person usually stays 45 minutes or more.
So they have music. Does anybody dance in here?
We don't have dancing per se. People
don't
sort of
allow dancing?
maybe. Dancing's not really allowed.
Not on the tables.
Not
right?
on the tables. But people, there's just good music to kind of get the energy up and whatnot. So.
Let's talk about you. How did you get into this business?
I went to school for hospitality management at Cornell University. After school, I left and went to work in food and beverage for Hillstone Restaurant Group. I was in, I'd say, 5 different cities over the course of 4.5 years. And then I stumbled back in Boston. I grew up here. And our CEO, Cindy, who also is the CEO of Boston Duck Tours, asked me to read the business plan.
I've met Cindy.
You have, yes.
Charming woman.
Yes. So she asked me to read the business plan since I was already sort of working down in this area. I knew a lot about Faneuil Hall and the tourism industry already based on our restaurant being here. And then she kind of talked me into interviewing for the GM position, and that was about 4.5 years ago. So it's kind of a long time ago to have really now see the vision happen.
4.5 years ago was the planning for this?
Yes.
And it took that long to get this done?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the ice.
Sure.
Obviously it's cold. It's 21 degrees in here.
It is.
And my feet are starting to freeze.
Yes, I told
However, you told me the guest experience is that once you get acclimated, it doesn't feel that bad to you.
Your fingers and your toes start to lose the heat first just because there's not as much circulation. But once you're in here for a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes, you really do start to not feel that anymore. It's kind of like when you go skiing. And then when you go outside, just like when you've been in the cold as, you know, a kid sledding, skiing, etc., you kind of start to get a little bit, that kind of hurts a little bit, and then it's fine.
What are you doing to market the company?
Well, we work closely with Boston Duck Tours. We share the same CEO, so, you know, thankfully we have all of their, you know,
All their
contacts
passengers
and
and,
yeah,
you know.
exactly, already, which is really great. So we do sell joint tickets to them. We've been using a lot of social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. And then, you know, we found that a lot of our guests thus far have been locals. So we're doing a lot of stuff to reach out to pair with certain Faneuil Hall establishments, you know, our partners in the area. When you're here, you're already here. So we're trying to make it so that people that can come to Frost and then go somewhere else afterwards.
Tell me how you learn more about this. You have a website. Could you give me the website?
Yeah, it's frosticebar.com. And we're on Facebook at Frost Ice Bar. And you can just find us, you know, with those. And then the website is the best tool. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call. The number's on the website.
And you're open 7 days a week, right?
7 days, yeah.
That's hard for you, right? Do you have to work 7 days a week?
I'm here a lot, yeah.
Well, this has been real exciting. I just think people should come here because it's so different, so amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me here. Grier, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's time for us to have a real cold one, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's served on the rocks.
Real cold. Hey, this is going to be great. Here's one for me.
Thank you very much.
And on
Thank
the
you,
rocks,
Amanda.
actually on ice, right?
Yeah, there you go. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers to you.
It's fresh, it's cold.
We'll be right back with more Brandworth in a few I'm drunk. We'll be right back with more Brandworth right after these messages.